Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 15, Shloka numbers 22, 23 and 24. So first two slokas I read for myself, and the 24th sloka we can repeat. Rajam stvayanu prishtanam suhudam na suhrutpure viprashapa abhudhanam nignatam mushtibirmitaha varnim madhuram pitva madhonmatita chetasam ajanatam ivanyonyam chatu panchavasheshitaha. So translation given by Srila Prabhupada. O king, since you have asked me about our friends and relatives in the city of Dvārakā, I'll inform you that all of them were cursed by the brāhmaṇas, and as a result they all became intoxicated with wine made of putrefied rice and fought among themselves with sticks, not even recognizing one another. Now all but 4 or 5 of them are dead and gone. So 24th sloka. Prayena etat bhagavataha prayena etat bhagavata prayena etat bhagavata ishvarasya vichestitam mitaha nignanti bhutani mito nignanti bhutani bhavayanti cha yad mitaha bhavayanti chayanmitaha prayena etat bhagavata ishvarasya vichestitam mito nignanti bhutani bhavayanti chayanmitaha prayena etat bhagavata ishvarasya vichestitam mito nignanti bhutani bhavayanti chayanmitaha. Prayena etat bhagavata ishvarasya vichestitam mito nignanti bhutani bhavayanti chayanmitaha. Prayena etat bhagavata ishvarasya vichestitam bhutani etat bhagavata ishvarasya vichestitam mito nignanti bhutani bhavayanti. Synonyms. Prayena etat it is almost by Bhagavataha, of the personality of Godhead, Ishvarasya, of the Lord, which is stitam, by the will of Mitaha, one another, Nignanti, do kill, Bhutani, the living beings, Bhavayanti, as also protect, Cha, also, Yat, of whom, Mitaha, one another. Translation given by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Factually, this is all due to the supreme will of the Lord, the personality of Godhead. Sometimes people kill one another, and at other times they protect one another. Please read the translation. Factually, this is all due to the supreme will of the Lord, the personality of Godhead. Sometimes people kill one another, and at other times they protect one another. Purport given by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. According to anthropologists, there is nature's law of struggle for existence and survival of the fittest. But they do not know that behind the law of nature is the supreme direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is confirmed that the law of nature is executed under the direction of the Lord. Whenever, therefore, there is peace in the world, it must be known that it is due to the goodwill of the Lord. And whenever there is upheaval in the Lord, it is also due to supreme will of the Lord. Not a blade of grass moves without the will of the Lord. Whenever, therefore, there is disobedience of the established rules enacted by the Lord, there is war between the men and nations. The surest way to the path of peace, therefore, is dovetailing everything to the established rule of the Lord. The established rule is that whatever we do, whatever we eat, whatever we sacrifice, or whatever we give in charity must be done to the full satisfaction of the Lord. No one should do anything, eat anything, sacrifice anything, or give anything in charity against the will of the Lord. Discretion is the better part of the valor, and one must learn how to discriminate between the actions which may be pleasing to the Lord and those which may not be pleasing to the Lord. An action is thus judged by the Lord's pleasure and displeasure. There is no room of personal whims. We must always be guided by the pleasure of the Lord. Such action is called yoga karmashu kaushalam, or actions performed which are linked with the Supreme Lord. So that is art of doing a thing perfectly. So in this Shloka's purport, Srila Prabhupada is telling that everything is happening as per the will of the Lord. Whenever there is peace, whenever there is disobedience of the established rules enacted by the Lord, there is war between the nations and the people. So we are seeing currently many wars across the world. We saw the Russia and Ukraine war. It started in 2022, almost more than 2 years. So people thought Russia is very, very big nation. Ukraine is very small. War will end very soon. But these many years are over, still they are fighting. So Russia considered Ukraine joining with NATO is a threat to the Russian country. Russian country warned Ukraine also not to get into that, and but Ukraine did not listen to Russia, and finally Russia has to wage war against Ukraine, to defend their country. Almost 12,600 people died in Ukraine due to this war. More than double of that injured as of now. This is the United Nations High Commissioner of Human Rights is telling this one. And one more war is there, started after that. What that war? Israel and Palestine war. So Palestine, some terrorists are there, Hamas. So they attacked Israel and killed almost more than 1,000 citizens and captivated almost 200 citizens. And Israel, became angry by that, and they started war. And they waged war against Palestine. Up to now, Israel killed 50,000 civilians, people. And big terrorist leaders are all dead, almost. And you see many wars happening in other countries also. May not be highlighted so much by the media, but many wars are happening. Syria war and many places. Bangladesh also happened. And then India, inside India also, small or big, some wars are keep happening even now. Nagpur, and then many things are happening. So why these things are happening? So Prabhupada is telling here, it is due to disobedience of the established rules enacted by the Lord. There is war between the nations. So because of disobedience of the laws of God, these wars happens. Now how to control the situation? What is the solution for the situation? So Prabhupada is very practically telling this here. The surest way for the path of peace, therefore, is following as per the rule of the Lord, established rule of the Lord. What is established rule? Krishna, Prabhupada is telling here very clearly, Yat karoshi yadashnashi, jajjuhoshi dadashiyat, yat tapassya kaunteya, tat kurushva madarpanam. That means, act for the satisfaction of the Lord. That must be the prime principle of every living entity, every human being. Act for the satisfaction of the Lord. Whatever you eat, whatever you do, whatever you sacrifice, so whatever you give in charity, do for the pleasure of the Lord, not for your selfish pleasure. Okay? Act for the pleasure of the Lord. This is the principle. So this is the established rule. If people follow this rule, then there will be peace, happiness in the society, in the country, everywhere. Okay? So, but people are not doing this. Why they are not doing this? Why they are not acting for the pleasure of the Lord? So Prabhupada clarifies in one of the quote. So people are acting primarily to satisfy their senses, for their sense gratification, for their selfish pleasures. Okay? So it is due to their sense gratification, they are not acting for the pleasure of the Lord. So senses means, Lord, one more name is there, Hrishikesha. Hrishik means senses. Esha means is the controller senses. Okay? So, Prabhupada is telling here, Krishna is called the master of senses. So, therefore, our senses will be engaged to satisfy the sense of Krishna. At that time, we will have perfect happiness and it will end the distressed condition, wars. So that means instead of satisfying our senses, acting for our own sense gratification, acting for our own selfishness, if you act for the pleasure of the Lord, so that will solve all the problems of the life. So whatever we are doing, just we need to engage dovetailing Krishna consciousness. So by that way, you will also get real happiness. If you independently try, sense gratification materially, there will be suffering will be there. So material happiness always comes with a baggage called suffering. Okay. So every action has a reaction. If one tries to satisfy himself independent of Lord, then there will be reaction for that, and one cannot avoid that. So instead of dangerously engaging in material sense gratification, if one tries to dovetail his tendencies in the service of the Lord, if he tries to enjoy happiness with respect to Lord, then he will get real happiness. Real happiness. Real sense gratification. Prabhupada says sense gratification is not wrong. Is not wrong. Devotees also do sense gratification, but in a right way, in connection to Lord. So Krishna conscious life itself is molded in such a way that you enjoy life in connection with Krishna. So bhakti means is not life of suffering, so many rules and regulations, suffering. It is not so. Maybe some rules are there, but more than that, one derives happiness in Krishna consciousness. So by our sankirtans, by our activities in Krishna consciousness, by our service, by our prasadam, by our dance, by our puja to Lord, by reading scriptures, we derive great pleasure actually. So this is the real sense gratification in connection to Lord. If Lord is not there, then that is material sense gratification, and there will be reactions for that. So once a journalist saw Srila Prabhupada in America. So you have dedicated your life. You have many people also disciples. They also dedicate their life for your God called Krishna. And whole life you are practicing. You are waking up morning 4 a.m. and then practicing all these things which are very troublesome. That in cold country like this. Okay. So what if at the end of the life you come to know that Krishna is not there? Whole life you have spent like this for Krishna. End of the life you came to know if Krishna is not there, then what will you do? So Prabhupada answers that we are enjoying our life like this by Krishna's practice. We have kirtans, prasadam, she gives nice prasadam, puri, kachori, halwa, everything to the journalist. See, you are eating like this, we are enjoying life like this. No problem. Say if Krishna is not there, still we enjoyed our life, all through life, more than you. What if you come to know at the end of your life if Krishna is there? So one has to understand Krishna conscious life is a happy way of life centered around Krishna. Recently, Tulsi Gabbard also, she came to India, she was telling, life centered around Krishna. Her life is centered around Krishna, and then, she is very satisfied and happy. So this what is Krishna consciousness. In the Ramayana, there's an incident is there. How Lord Hanuman happened to go through many things, many situations, and how he controlled the senses. And ultimately, he was able to have darshan of Mother Sita. Okay. So, Hanuman jumps over the ocean and reaches Lanka. Sometime in the daytime he reaches. and he waits for the night time, because night time is not so easy to identify him if he goes inside the Lanka. So it becomes dark, and then Hanuman, in the form of small monkey, okay, he wants to enter, and he goes to the main door, Rajadwara. So there, one ugly lady is there, very stout, and then black color, Lankini. She is called as Lankini. Who is Lankini? She is Adhisthana Devata of the Lanka. Every place will be having Adhisthana Devata. Some people worship as Grama Devata in villages. Like that, Lanka is having, Adhisthana Devata, Lankini. And she is a Rakshasi actually. So she sees the Hanuman, some small monkey. And when somebody comes to the door, first we have to speak properly. Who are you? And then what do you want? Like that they have to ask. That's a common etiquette. So Lankini, being Rakshasi, she shouts at the monkey, Hanuman. Who are you? You are a monkey, supposed to roam in forests. Why you come here? Why you come here? Do you want to live or not? So like that, she shouts at Hanuman. Hanuman gets surprised. Then Hanuman also nothing less. He is also very powerful. So he tells very clearly, Katvam Virupani Puradhvaren Tishtati. Who are you? Very ugly eyes you have. Oh, ugly-eyed lady. Sitting in the front of the door only, Puradhvara. And when he talks like that, she becomes angry. You call me ugly lady? She becomes very angry. And, with her right hand, she actually beats Hanuman, kicks Hanuman. And Hanuman, nothing happens to him. He also can do that very strongly. He can kill Lankini also. But being woman, he has respect. With the left hand, he just hits on the head of that Lankini. Okay, she falls down, can't able to wake up also. Then she remembers. The saying of Brahma. So Brahma tells, one day, one person will come. Nobody can defeat you so easily. One person will come, he will defeat you. And he is the one who can win out the Lanka. Then she remembers that. Then she becomes very happy. Brahma told long before about this. So please go inside and you can win our Lanka. Then she opens the door. Hanuman doesn't go by door. He jumps onto the wall and then jumps inside. So generally, relatives means, well-wisher means they'll go by door. He's not well-wisher of Ravana. Okay. So it jumps like this. Enemies generally go like that. He goes inside. Then he happens to see the golden Lanka. So much opulent, shining. Even though it is dark, it is shining like anything. It happens to be full moon. Moon is there. And then, pitch dark, but still, because of moonlight and the jewels, palaces are bedecked with jewels, shining like anything. Then the palaces are fully covered with gold. We have Hare Krishna golden temple. Some parts of the temple are covered with gold. Okay, but Lanka is almost covered with gold. Big palaces. And in between that gold, wonderful diamonds are bedecked. They're shining, they are giving the light, okay, to see what is there in the Lanka. Such an opulent Lanka it is. So Hanuman has to search for Sita inside the Lanka city. Generally, people expect that Sita may be somewhere in the palace. So he wants to search each and every inch of the Lanka city. He goes every home, every palace and seeing what is happening. And there he sees Rakshasas, very fearful. Some teeth are very big, some their horns are very big, very ugly shaped. They are very powerful. and they're holding powerful weapons. Their homes are filled with weapons. They don't know when the war will come. So always ready with weapons. And there are many powerful, people are there who can chant mantras. They're all chanting mantras with darba in their hand. If they find something auspicious, immediately they chant mantras and throw that away. So with their power, mantra power, they can do that. That kind of people are roaming continuously in the Lanka. Then he happens to go to some homes where wife and husband privately are there, leading their life. And he comes out and he goes to some palaces. There wonderful women are there, very beautiful women. They're dancing. Wonderful music is there. So nice it is. Just like if you go to, some theater, wonderful songs will be there. Or some sabhas happens. Some beautiful lady dances with music. So like that, sabhas are happening. And he saw all that. And still, Kartavyam. He has to find the Sita Devi. Then, finally, he reaches to the palace of the Ravana. So opulent it is. Wonderful. Okay. Then he goes inside. Surprisingly, he sees many women. They're all, meant for enjoyment of the Ravana. That scene Ramayana describes, so much. We cannot tell all that. And such a situation, they're all, no proper dress also. Ravana is sleeping. And then still Hanuman carefully sees all to the palace. Then he happens to go to one separate room where one great lady is sleeping alone in the room. Hanuman thinks, she is the Sita. He found Sita very happy, jumping, dancing. Okay. And that much he is happy. He found Sita, he thinks like that. You see, even though many women he saw almost without dress, Hanuman is very careful. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says in 2nd chapter, Yatato hi api kaunteya purushasya upasthitaha indriyani pramathini haranti prashabam manaha. The senses are so strong and impetus, O Arjuna, that they forcibly carry away the mind even of a man of discrimination who is endeavoring to control them. Even though he is a great personality, great yogi, senses are so strong they can carry away at any moment. That's the power of senses. So that's why Krishna is saying, one should have the ability, one who is able to withdraw his senses from sense objects. As the tortoise draws its limbs within the shell, is to be understood as truly situated in knowledge. Okay, so devotee should be able to withdraw his senses when happens to find sense objects. Just like Hanuman, if you see, he is seeing the that kind of scenes in the Lanka, very beautiful women, but still he can able to withdraw his senses. He is not carried away by senses. Okay, so Krishna says here, one who can control the senses, he is actually Sthita Prajna, the man of steady intelligence. One can live peacefully only when he can able to control the senses. Without that, there is no question of peace. So then, only one can become Sthita Prajna. So why the sense enjoyment is restricted? We are not the enjoyers. Krishna is the enjoyer. Bhoktaram Yajnatapasam. He is the supreme enjoyer. We are meant to cater for his enjoyment. We are not enjoyers. So because of doing sense gratification, it may be through mobile, it may be through by seeing, by tasting, by anything. Okay. So one happens to engage sense gratification again and again, he develops that ego, the false ego that I am enjoyer. I am enjoyer. So Krishna says that one who cannot understand that he is not the enjoyer, he is meant to serve Supreme Lord. One who cannot understand, he will not be having peace in the mind. One who understands that only that person can able to get the peace. Jnatva mam shanti ruchyati. That person can able to attain peace. So to be happy in the life, to be peaceful in the life, one should learn to practice this sense gratification. Okay. So Hanuman happens to see like that. Then he goes to the room of that one great lady sleeping alone in the room. He understands that he is the Sita. She is the Sita. Very happy, dancing. And he bites his tail also, it seems. So happy Hanuman is. But later he understands that she is not actually Sita. She is Mandodari, wife of Ravana. And again disappointed. After searching everywhere, all through the Lanka, every nook and corner, every inch, she could not find the Sita. Then Hanuman started thinking, by seeing this kind of women, this kind of situations, maybe I have done dharma dosha. Because of that, I can't able to find Sita. See, Hanuman is thinking that he has done some mistake. But if you see our life, maybe every day, somehow or other, to a different extent, we see all these kind of situations. But we never regret, I have done something wrong. So this is very bad. At least we should regret. There is genuine reason for that. So Prabhupada says that senses are like plunderers. So in the forest of material existence, senses are like, uncontrolled senses are like plunderers. Daku. You'll find in the forest some dacoits will be there. And these people, what they do, if you travel by forest, they will attack and take away all your belongings, your money, everything they'll take away. And they may kill you also. Such kind of dacoits will be there even now. Okay. Senses are like that. Uncontrolled senses are like that. And you have money, you have practiced Krishna consciousness, woke up early in the morning, attend Mangalarati, you did chanting, and you happen to attend Bhagavatam class, reading were done, you got some sukruti by this, you're earning spiritual money by this. But when you engage sense gratification, what will happen? These senses will plunder your money, will take your sukruti. Every day you are earning and you are losing. Earning, losing, earning, losing. How many days will go like that? All your austerity is going away by this kind of sense gratification. Okay. So it is very important for us to control our senses by engaging in the service of Krishna. So that's how finally Hanuman understands that it's not dharma dosha, because I am searching for Sita Devi. I need to search among women only. What can I do? So then he started still searching. Finally, he finds the Sita Devi in the Ashokavana. Then after that, eventually, Rama comes and then war happens and Rama kills Ravana. Okay. So after killing Ravana, Rama is standing there near the body of the Ravana, and the Rakshas carry Mandodari in Palaki, and the Mandodari comes, wife of Ravana. And people think that now she is going to curse Rama. But she just sees, respects Rama and goes to Ravana. And she tells very harshly, at the dead body of Ravana, you died not because of Rama. You died because of your uncontrolled senses. Uncontrolled senses. Ravana is best example for uncontrolled senses. Because he's saying everything. It's a golden palace like Indra. Amaravati is having such kind of, Lanka is having gold, beautiful women, treasure. He is saying Pushpa Vimana. That is if you describe Pushpa Vimana, that is many things will be there. Okay. Such kind of opulence is having. Still is again behind Sita. Okay. And Sita Devi tells that don't commit this kind of sinful activity. This sin will not leave you. When you die, even Devatas become very happy. They'll shower flowers in happiness. Your own wife will scold you. Such kind of situation will come. Please leave me. So Mandodari tells this. You have tortured Sita Devi, Sita Mata so much by going to her every day, talking all kind of nonsense against her. And because of that, the situation come to you. And she is scolding the died Ravana. Any person generally dies means, people will have some sympathy, some compassion, they'll remember some good activities. They'll arrange some sabha also. So everybody comes and glorifies the died person. But here, the situation of Ravana, you see, his own wife scolding him. So this is land of Pativratas. Pativratas, when if you see history, scriptures, they would like to go along with husband to Nashloka also. That is Sanatana Dharma. For other dharmas, it is just agreement for some time. But Sanatana Dharma, it's not agreement. Okay. So they lead whole life along with husband. So when wife thinks that when a husband dies, she goes inside and then sinful person died now. I am very happy. If some wife thinks like that, the situation of husband is very worst. Okay. So such kind of situations come to Ravana. So she tells very clearly, when you did tapasya, you control your senses very strongly. You suppress your senses very strongly. And after that, you are fully controlled by your senses. Engage sense gratification so much. So this is one thing we need to understand very carefully. We should not suppress senses anytime. Suppressing senses is very, very dangerous. Just like a snake is there. If you step on snake, if you take out your step, immediately snake rages and bites you. Okay. So one should not artificially control the senses. So one should control in a Krishna conscious way. Recently we celebrated Holi in folk outside in a farmhouse. We did Abhishekam grandly for Nitya Gauranga. Then throwing of colors, and then there is swimming pool is there. So with Kirtan, everybody is dancing and enjoying everything. After that, one boy has sent a message that Prabhuji, I never thought this much happiness will be there with Lord. It's first time seeing higher happiness in devotion. So this possible only in the presence of Lord in the temple, he is telling. Okay. So that's called higher happiness. There's higher happiness, higher taste is there in Krishna consciousness. So by experience that higher taste, automatically lower taste comes in control. Our Radha Govind is there. Wonderful decoration. Beautiful they are. If you have nice darshan, you see the Lord nicely. That's called higher taste. If you're attracted like that, it's a higher taste. Automatically forget outside attractions. One person is there, his brother of one of our devotee. Since 10 years, he is in Krishna consciousness. He is telling his brother to come to temple. He never came, it seems, since 10 years. Somewhere he found in social media the picture of Radha Govinda, and he liked so much, and he searched where is this temple, and he came here. Weekly 2 times he is coming, it seems. That person who never came for almost 10 years got attracted beauty of Radha Govinda. So that's called higher taste. Still many things are there. It's a ocean treasure. Okay, one should experience that taste. So by that way, one can able to conquer naturally. If you suppress artificially, you will be in danger. Okay. So Prabhupada, when he's in Mayapur, in his quarters, if you go to Mayapur, you find the quarters of Srila Prabhupada. Mayapur Chandrodaya deity also will be there. So Prabhupada is staying there. And then Prabhupada's assistant is there, Shrutakirti Prabhu. So he arranges for water in the washroom. That time they have to carry in buckets and then arrange in the washroom. He arranges like that. When he opens door of washroom, he finds cobra. Immediately he jumps out of bathroom, becomes very fearful. Then he wants to tell to Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhupada is in a room talking to some devotees. Some devotees came from outside, he's talking to them. So he don't want to disturb Prabhupada. Then one more devotee is there, Bhavananda. He goes and tells. And he becomes very fearful. Immediately goes inside room of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, there is cobra in the washroom. And all devotees immediately come out of the room and they are trying to find out the cobra in the washroom. But everybody is fearful. Very, very fearful. Almost maybe 15-20 devotees, what to do, so much discussion, anxiety, tension, hallagul everywhere, chaos everywhere. So it went on for more than an hour. Then Prabhupada came out of room, he sees, Prabhupada makes statement that so many devotees for one snake. Then Prabhupada just laughs and goes away. So then one devotee comes, his name is Rasaparayana, he's a little daring devotee. He goes inside the washroom and catches the snake. Okay, and then they kill the snake. Killing snake is, you may think wrong. If Shastra says, Vrishchika Sarpa, snake, and then what that? Vrishchika means scorpion. They're envious creatures. Envious creatures. Even though you don't do anything, they'll simply bite and go away. They must be killed. Rakshasas and this kind of creatures kill, people are happy. Even sadhu will be happy, it seems. Okay. So they happen to catch the snake and then kills. So next day Prabhupada will be in the room. So devotee is also there. So Prabhupada tells, you kill the snake, right? You all people. So snake, when a snake dies, imprints of that person who killed the snake will be there in the eyes of the snake. And when its partner comes and happens to see that, rest of the whole life spends in searching for that person, take revenge. So devotees become fearful. Actually, this I saw once in Mayapur only. In Mayapur, we went to little inside the backside of temple where the farming is happening. Some devotees are plowing the field. One snake has come. They kill the snake. And then they burn the snake. We asked, why you are burning? He's telling the same thing. Imprints of the person will be there on the snake eyes. If other snake says, they'll take revenge on me. So that's why they're burning, it seems. So Prabhupada just, sometimes funnily fears devotee, so the devotees chants seriously Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So, and next day, Prabhupada again inquires, what is happening now? Prabhupada, devotees are still fearful about snake. So Prabhupada laughs and tells, don't worry too much. Rake Krishna Mare Krishna Rakeke. If Krishna wants to help, nobody can kill. If Krishna wants to kill, nobody can protect. Okay, don't worry much about it, like the Prabhupada says. Okay, so snakes, Shastra says senses are like snakes, very powerful they are. And we should know carefully how to control, otherwise they'll just bite us. And we have to suffer all through life because of this sense gratification. So this Ravana, so because of, even though he is having everything, why he got attacked to Sita? Because he is having a wonderful sister. Who is that wonderful sister? Surpanaka. So she goes in distress about Sita Devi. Sita Devi, so beautiful, nobody can match in entire world. Even Swargalokas also, like that she describes about Sita Devi. By hearing that Ravana, by thinking again and again, contemplating again and again, he got attached to Sita so much. And that led to his fall down, collapse of the Ravana rule, the Lanka Empire. Okay, so same thing Krishna says here. Dhyato Vishyan Pumsan Sangas Teshu Pajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kaman Kramat Krodho Bijayate. So there's a wonderful scientific sequence is there. How by sense gratification one falls down. So first it starts with contemplation of sense objects, thinking again and again. Oh, very beautiful, very beautiful, very beautiful. If you think so much, what happens? You will develop attachment to it. Sangat Sanjayate Kaman. It becomes lust, very strong desire. Kamat Krodho Bijayate. If you cannot able to satisfy that lust, it becomes anger. Then Krodhat bhavati sammoha, swamohat smriti vibhramaha, smriti vibhramsat buddhinasha pranashyati. Okay, so from that anger, what happens? Delusion. You cannot able to see things clearly. Delusion. Then bewilderment of memory. You will forget. Your memory will be lost because of that infatuation, lust, strong desire to enjoy that sense object. So because of that, intelligence doesn't work. What is good, what is bad, you will forget. And finally, buddhinasha panashyati, one falls down. So that's why, that's how sense gratification leads to fall down of a jiva completely, just like Ravana. So one should stop the sense gratification by engaging in Krishna consciousness sincerely, finding higher happiness, higher taste in Krishna consciousness. Thus, one should always act for the satisfaction of the Lord. Yakkaroshi yadashnashi yajjuhoshi dadashiyat yas tapassasi kaunteya tat purusham adarpanam. Everything, whatever you eat, whatever you do, act for the satisfaction of the Lord. So by that way, there will be peace in your life and peace in the world also. There will be no wars. There's an UN is there, United Nations Organization. So they want to control wars between the nations. They want to establish peace. If they sincerely want to do, up to now they are miserably failing. If they sincerely want to end these wars, they should understand this principle. Act for the satisfaction of Lord Krishna. If they are able to implement this, then there will be real peace in the world. Okay? We'll complete here. Thank you very much. Shri Radha Govind ki, Nitai Gauranga ki, Lakshmi Nasande Bhagwan ki, Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada ki.